November 17, 2009. Officer Greg Toyeas, a 23-year veteran of the Cincinnati Police Department, is on patrol when a car cuts in front of him during a left turn.
As soon as he cut me off, I honked my horn, and then he finally put on his turn signal. And as soon as he made his left, that's when I lit him up.
The car pulls into a grocery store parking lot.
Hi, sir. The reason why I'm pulling you over is you cut me off back there. There's 2 lanes that turn there.
So I asked for his driver's license, and he stated he didn't have one.
What's your social security number, please? I don't know my social security. I don't have my license.
I'm kind of apprehensive now. I asked him what his social security number was. He didn't know that. He had no ID on him. And I tell him to open the door, and he does. And he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, we're going to go back to my car." He goes, "I'm not under arrest." And I said, "No, you just don't have a license. I got to find out who you are." And with that, he starts reaching with his right hand in the back seat.
Don't reach! Don't reach! Don't reach!
His whole upper body turned around looking for something. I knew it wasn't something small. I knew it was something, and I didn't want to be part of it.
Don't reach! I'll tase you!
I back away from the car, and I draw my gun on him because I don't know what he's going for.
Get out of there! Drop it!
Something just didn't feel right. And he came out with a gun in his right hand, and he takes off running.
Officer Toyeas gives chase along the side of the parking lot.
I'm behind the program with a gun!
So I run along the building, and we get to the side, and then he disappears.
The suspect emerges a few minutes later behind a nearby car wash, caught on this security video. He attempts to hijack a utility truck just as Officer Cheyenne Schneider arrives on the scene.
When the subject climbed into the passenger side of the utility truck, Officer Schneider came up, and she opened the driver's side door and wound up tasing him.
It's a direct hit, but the suspect is still able to close the door. Other units converge, including a plainclothes officer, Kevin Newman.
When I see Officer Schneider at the side of the truck, she's trying to get the guy out. She couldn't see a gun in his hand.
The suspect fires, but the bullet ricochets off the door of the truck. Officer Newman returns fire, hitting the suspect.
And it happened so quick.
I just got him, incapacitated in the white truck.
By the time it was over, because I was peering out, Officer Newman was already done firing, and he was on the radio saying shots fired.
Officers Toyeas and Newman approach the vehicle and discover that the suspect is dead. Soon after the shooting, investigators, using DNA, get a hit on the suspect in their criminal database.
A week prior to this, my traffic stop, he had robbed a bank, and just prior to going into the bank, he had smoked a cigarette and threw it down on the ground. So they wound up taking that cigarette butt and getting a DNA swab off of that. I believe the subject was just connecting dots, thinking that we knew that he had robbed a bank. But nobody should have died over it.
When he watches the incident unfold on video, Officer Toyeas is reminded that even the most routine stops
Hi, sir. The reason why I'm pulling you over is you cut me off back there.
can escalate in an instant.
It's very important to go home every day at the end of the shift. I've got a wife and 2 boys, and just gotta go home. Gotta make sure everybody else goes home too.